Unless you've been under a rock the past couple of days, you've seen the video making the rounds of the woman screaming she was essayed by a man when she Doordashed food to his house. Now, to be sure, there's a lot of conflicting information going around, much of it created by the very woman who is making the claim, which should tell you something right there about the validity of it. But based on what I've seen in various videos that people have shared with me or sent to me, as well as some other research I've done into the matter, I'm going to dive into this and break down this viral incident and talk about how this is even more proof that men simply aren't safe around women anymore. Now, let me start by putting in a little disclaimer to cover myself legally, which is we have to put in a blanket, this is all alleged. I'm not saying anything definitive, but I think anyone who watches the video or has seen it knows the evidence speaks for itself. So in case you missed it, a young woman posted a video on TikTok a few days ago where she claimed a man was lying naked on the couch when she delivered his DoorDash, and then stated that he in fact SA'd her as a result. Now, I've seen the full original video that has since been taken down. Not the one that's currently up and making the rounds. The original video. The one now that's making the rounds has actually been cut and clipped to make her claim seem to be more legitimate. And let me tell you, if you saw the full original, which I'm not going to share because, one, I don't want to get hammered for nudity. Yes, there's nudity in it. And two, I'm not going to give this woman any more attention and validation than she's already getting. You'd be asking some serious questions. Ones most people aren't asking. But don't worry, I will. And if you want to find the original video and the one that's going around, look, you can go find it yourself. You're all adults. Simple search will pull them up, so I'm going to leave that to you. All right, let's get into it. At first, this may look like some sort of weird one-off, but when you dig in, it actually exposes something far larger, which is the structural vulnerability of men in our society. So to kind of recap it all, a man ordered food via DoorDash, something we've all done. What is not in dispute anywhere that I can see is that there were explicit instructions left on the order for the food to be left on his porch. Apparently, though, his accuser decided that that wasn't sufficient enough and she needed to go up to his door. Now, currently, she's claiming the door was wide open, but at first she claimed the door was slightly ajar, which if you actually go and find the original video that has since been deleted, does seem to be the case. And as I said, she's now claiming the door was wide open the whole time. And the video she's now posted, the one that's been clipped, seems to support that, as the part where the door was ajar has been cut off. As a result, the woman is now claiming the man was essaying her because he was naked or partially naked and, by the way, unconscious on a couch. Which, yes, if you watch the video, does in fact appear to be the case. But what she and those supporting her are failing to bring to light is what I just said, the fact the man appears to be completely passed out. Now, some are saying he was drunk, others are saying he was asleep. I don't know what's right. But what is clear in the video is that he was not looking at her or engaging with her in any way. His eyes are closed. So when you see that, you can easily conclude he was, in fact, at a minimum asleep and quite possibly passed out. Now let's return to what this woman chose to do. Did she do as the instructions on the order said and just simply leave the food on the porch? No. Which, had she done so, likely would have meant she would have never seen the man. Thus, at least we're calling into question her claim he was lying in wait to essay her. Because if that's truly the case, why would he put explicit, undisputed instructions on the order to leave the food on the porch? Add to it something I've yet to see anyone mention, which is when you place a DoorDash order and put in the instructions, you don't know if it's a man or woman who's going to be doing the delivery. The app doesn't display a gender anywhere. Yes, it does show a name and may show a vehicle type. Even then, you don't know, though, for sure whether it's going to be a man or woman coming. People use nicknames. Profile pictures can be misleading. There are documented cases where the name or picture indicated it might be a woman coming, but was in fact a male. So to imply, as many, including the woman claiming she was SA'd, that this was all a setup designed to lure her in, well, let's just say it doesn't pass the sniff test. And her reaction is telling, and again, there's a lot of conflicting information here. Some have said she didn't have her phone at first, went back to her car to retrieve it, and then took the videos. Others have said the door was ajar, not actually open, and that she entered the premises to push it open. And others have said it was wide open from the time she arrived, which is the narrative going around now. One that seems to be verified by the video that's been manipulated and doctored to appear as if that's the case. But as I said, if you see the original video, as I have, it's pretty clear the door was not wide open, as she's now claiming. Which begs the question, if the guy was passed out or asleep, just how the hell did the door go from being ajar to fully open? And again, there's conflicting info. As I said, she is now claiming it was open all along, which again, I invite you to go find the original video, which clearly disproves that claim. Which means either she chose to open the door fully or he did. And as I just referenced, he was passed out on the couch. Which means there's only one person who could have opened that door, and that would be her. So at the very least, we have a potential case for breaking and entering. Because if the door was ajar and she opened it to, let's say, get better lighting for her video, well, that in fact could be breaking and entering or criminal trespass. Especially considering, and again, let me reiterate this, there's no disputing on this. There were explicit instructions to leave the food on the porch. She had no business going up to the door or in it. Now let's go to the crime that, in my opinion, there is no question she committed, which is, and I'll put this as politely as possible, her taking non-consensual photographs. Further complicated by her then posting those images online without his express consent. Let's be clear here. There is no disputing this. There's no ambiguity. The evidence is out there for everyone to see. She willfully, knowingly, and deliberately filmed the man without his consent, then posted it on TikTok for the entire world to see. This is cut and dried. She did it, and the video she's posted proves it. And I'd argue, as a result, it's not her who's the victim of SA, but him. The man she chose to take pictures of without his consent and then post online for the world to see. And what's truly sick is how many people are supporting her doing that. I mean, if it was him who had taken pictures of her without her consent while she was asleep or passed out, would we even be having a debate? Of course not. And in fact, the man would have already been arrested, arraigned, and charged with multiple offenses. You know it, and I know it. Yet, because it was a woman who did it, well, suddenly it's okay. It's justified even. No, sorry. Even if he was guilty of SA, that does not give her the right to post revenge porn. And oh, by the way, try to make money off of it. Oh, what? You didn't think she was trying to get paid? Child, please. That video that's up now has tens of millions of views. The one that was taken down, every bit as many. And she's got other videos getting millions of views. So if her account is monetized, and there's no reason to think it's not, as she meets all the criteria, she's making bank off of this. While TikTok did take down the original, as they should have, we don't know yet if they've demonetized her or are preventing her from making money off of all this in any way. Which again begs the question, why? Because if I or any man did the same thing, my account would already have been banned. Yet her account is alive and well as I'm filming this. And in fact, she's getting millions and millions more views, especially as women are coming out of the woodwork to cheer her on, to support her for posting his images without his consent. Which again tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? Again, because this is important, I want to review this. According to threads, footage, and quite possibly the driver herself. This driver didn't simply stop at the doorstep, as the directions explicitly stated. No, it appears she pushed the door open and possibly even entered the premises. She then, of her own accord, filmed a naked man in his own home while he was asleep and possibly unconscious or incapacitated. That act alone raises serious legal and ethical questions. Questions about expectation of privacy, non-consensual recording, possibly even trespass. And let's be clear here, none of this is really in dispute. None of it. The evidence, aka the video, speaks for itself. Which again leads us to the next step, which is that while this all was a crime in and of itself, she then compounded it by uploading the footage, and in the process, identifying the man in a vulnerable state, naked, in his own home. Again, let me restate this. Her version of events has the pieces reversed. While she's riding the claim of, I'm the victim, I was assaulted, every available clue we're seeing suggests it was in fact she who initiated and committed the invasive act. But let's go a step or two further. She's flat out claiming sexual assault. But assault, by definition, involves lack of consent and unwanted sexual contact by the accused. Well, I ask you to consider this. In this scenario, she recorded him while he was either asleep or passed out on the couch. There's no credible evidence anywhere that he attacked her in any way. None. If anything, the vulnerability was hers to exploit, which is, in fact, exactly what she did. If she's claiming that he assaulted her, I ask you, where's the proof of it? Where's the video proof of it? When the video she herself posted shows he's asleep or passed out, and that the door wasn't open and he never looks or engages with her in any way. Yet, according to her and all the women out there who are supporting her, he's the guilty one, not her. It is definitive proof of how Believe All Women, Me Too, and the false allegations that they are encouraging are running rampant, and that women will justify any behavior, even criminal behavior, if it can be used to attack and disparage men. Because as her video itself proves, at the very least, she's guilty of taking pictures of a man naked without his consent and then posting them on the internet for the world to see. That is a crime. Yet, not only hasn't she been arrested and charged as I'm filming this, there doesn't appear to be any intent whatsoever by the local police or DA to even do an investigation. Thus, her attempt to use cultural shorthand, the one where a woman says, I was assaulted, to shield her own negative actions from scrutiny, seems to be working. That's not justice. That's manipulation. And it's exactly what women are doing to men every single day in this country. It is absolute proof of just how dangerous women have become to men. Because not only aren't men safe in the workplace or on the streets or in the public in general, but even in their own home. There is no question, none whatsoever in my opinion, that a crime was committed by this woman. Yet at least as of now, as I'm filming this, she's not only walking free, but continuing to benefit from her crime. Again, and I know I'm being repetitive here, but this is crucial that we all have an understanding of it. Let's review the laws that were likely broken here. At the very least, we have reasonable cases that she's guilty of non-consensual videotaping, as in filming someone nude or partially nude without their consent, which is illegal or actionable in most jurisdictions, including at the federal level. Her very video, even the doctored one making the rounds, proves that. She's likely guilty of trespassing because if she truly moved beyond the designated entry, if she ignored the leave it at the door instructions, as is supported by the first video she posted, if she actually pushed the door open further to be able to get a better, let's call it video, well, it's kind of hard to dispute that one now, isn't it? And then there's the publication of intimate content. The willful, deliberate posting of a naked man inside his own home while he was asleep or potentially incapacitated. This isn't even a question. Yet days have gone by now. The videos have gone viral, and she's walking free. Again, I ask you, if the genders were reversed, if a male delivery driver walked into a female's open door, filmed her naked while she was unconscious, posted it, and then claimed, I was the one that was sexually assaulted, how fast would society declare that we need to lock his ass up? How fast would all of the platforms be terminating his account? And how fast would the media be making headlines decrying male predators? Men and women would be calling for his head everywhere. We all know that. The answer is they would be doing so fast, very fast. And that man, honestly, would be lucky to survive the night in prison once the other prisoners got word of his charges. Yet again, let me say it one more time. She's walking free. No charges nor intent to even investigate the issue that I can find. Let that sink in. This is not mere oversight. It is hypocrisy in action. It is definitive proof of the pass that women get from the criminal justice system. Proof that the standards applied to men are not applied to women, especially in this space, where they're given far more leniency. In fact, I'd argue the rights that men have no longer even exist. Because the moment a woman claims victimhood, culture rushes to comfort her, to protect her, to validate her, to give her every excuse, every pass they can. And the real victim, the man who was doxxed and humiliated for the world to see, gets nothing. It is again proof that the moment a man might be the actual victim of an alleged wrong, he and all the men will get silence. Or, as we're seeing here, the blame. And this is why I say it all the time. It is simply not safe anymore for men to be out in society, for them to even be around women in any way. Men are told, just go get a job, work hard, be respectful, and you'll be just fine. But the reality is, you aren't safe. Not at work, where harassment claims will end your career even if it's definitively proved you did nothing wrong. Not in public, where one false claim, one false allegation, or one doctored or cut up video clip can instantly turn you into a suspect, even when you didn't do a damn thing wrong. And now, as I said, you're not even safe in your own home, where women have now become emboldened enough to push open a door and take videos and pictures of men without their consent and then post them online to get clicks, likes, validation, and sympathy. There is no disputing it now. This case clearly and definitively shows a woman barging into a man's domain, filming him without consent, and then trying to turn him into the villain of her story. The home should be the last sanctuary for men. Instead, now as we see it here, it's the scene of an attack. Make no mistake, at this point, there is no doubt, none whatsoever, men cannot and should not feel safe around a woman. Any woman. Not at work, not on the street, and absolutely not behind closed doors. So what should men do? Well, first of all, protect your home like it's Fort Knox. Limit entry, limit access to women. Use instructions like leave it at the door and then enforce them. Do not give them opportunities with open doors like we saw here. Wear a body cam in public and at work, anywhere you might encounter a woman. Record your own interactions if you enter into ambiguous situations. These days, video is your best bodyguard. In fact, your only bodyguard, since it's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that if it's her word against yours, she's the one that's going to be believed. You need to assume that any interaction you have with a woman, anything you say, could be weaponized against you, including, by the way, women who claim to care about and love you. Remember, men, most false allegations aren't made by women against strangers, though there's certainly plenty of those. No, men, most are made by women against men they know and often claim to love or have loved. Plan accordingly. Treat it accordingly. Finally, we men all need to demand justice, demand policy from every platform we use. No more double standards. No believe her reflex. No believe all women. Equal accountability means that she should be held as accountable as any man. I don't know where this happened, but if someone can find out and let me know, I'll be the first one on the phone to the local DA's office and to the chief of police to ask, why hasn't she been charged? Is there an investigation being done? And here's the final and truly sad reality, the one that this incident has proven beyond any doubt. No man is safe anywhere. This viral incident isn't isolated. It's systematic of a culture where men's rights, men's safety, and dignity aren't even optional. In fact, they're non-existent. We now live in a society where women can invade privacy, record naked men inside their homes, then post the footage and claim it's assault, and in the process, get cheered for doing it. We live in a society which believes that a man represents danger even when he's asleep or passed out on a couch. We live in a society that believes men deserve to face justice by being filmed when they're vulnerable, when he cannot give consent. We live in a society where for men now, the presumption of innocence is gone. And for women, it's absolute, even when there's a video evidence of her guilt for everyone to see. We now live in a world where no man is safe around any woman. Period. No exceptions. Not at work, not in the public, not even in his private home. So I'm saying this clearly. Men, you need to avoid women. All women at any cost. Because until the rules are equal, until the accountability is mutual, men, it's guaranteed you're going to be the one left holding the bag. I am done apologizing for saying it. The fact is, it's all women. All women till it's no women. Something this woman and the literally millions and millions of others who are supporting her have proven beyond any doubt. Men, this should serve as your wake-up call. The question is, are you going to heed it?